never made a payment to my client. She indicated to me
Anyways,
what.
can I talk? They're not going to be able to help. They're not going to be able to help with balance.
Ma'am, have a seat. Have a seat.
Man, you about to piss me off, bro. Come on.
Court calls case YPF 16
Okay.
LLC versus Sierra Fleming.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. David Fanter, on behalf of the plaintiff.
Your name?
Here, Fleming.
All right. Where are we on this case?
Ms. Fleming has a balance of $4,298.39. She indicates that she mailed the rental assistance form to the court on Wednesday.
She mailed it on Wednesday?
Yeah, I didn't know. I couldn't really hear you, but I thought you said mail it in, so I mailed it in.
Well, it needs to
Proof
be at
that
the court by
that I
Wednesday.
filled out an SIR with my tracking number and everything. I mean, an SER.
I don't have it. So.
Well, I sent it in.
Your Honor, I'll leave it up to the court what the court wants to do. I don't think she.
Yeah.
Her balance is $4,298.39. She's been on rapid rehousing with SOS paying their portion. She's never made a payment to my client. And I reached out, and from what she has said, so I reached out to SOS to see if they were going to be able to help her with the balance. What she indicated to
Anyways,
me.
can I talk? They're not going to be able to help. They're not going to be able to help with balance.
Ma'am.
Oh, it's getting started early. Y'all, as far as the SOS, I know it says rented assistant tenant, but SOS apparently is like an emergency thing where they can pay back up your rent, basically. It's not Section 8, which we usually review, but what it appears is it kind of works like Section 8, to where it's basically just all expense paid. And like they said, she's never paid a dime. So something was getting paid, and it looks like it was the Rapid SOS. I think that's what they're called, which is like a grant, basically, to cover your living expenses in an emergency circumstances if you qualify.
SOS paying their portion. She's never made a payment to my client. And I reached out, and from what she has said, so I reached out to SOS to see if they were going to be able to help her with the balance. What she indicated to me.
Anyways, can I talk? They're not going to be able to help. They're not going to be able to help with balance.
Ma'am. Let him finish, and I will
He's
hear
rude. I don't like.
You want to know what?
He's rude?
You don't try to overtalk me, because that will never happen.
That's fine.
Am I understood?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
You know what? I'm going to pass the matter.
You know how crazy that was? She said, when she interrupted him, she said, anyways, can I talk? That's how she interrupted him. This dude was in the middle of talking about it. And then she said, anyways, can I talk? And then proceeded to say that he's rude. Watch.
Their portion. She's never made a payment to my client. And I reached out, and from what she has said, so I reached out to SOS to see if they were going to be able to help her with the balance. What she indicated to me.
Anyways, can I talk? They're not going to be able to help. They're not going to be able to help with balance.
Ma'am. Let him finish, and I will
He's
hear
rude. I don't like.
You want to know what? You don't try to over.
So she brought her child in the court with her. She brought her child in the court, and she's got her child in the front of her, and she's draped over him, which appears to me like possibly trying to use that in order to garner some sympathy. That's what it looks like to me. But what I want to focus on is the example that she's setting in the presence of her child. So the example she's deciding to set in the presence of her child is basically it's okay to buck at authority. She is in a situation, she is in a circumstance where there is a certain way and a certain process that proceedings proceed. And in front of her child, she decides to act like a child. And then this is basically the example that he has to go on, that he'll ultimately just be able to just come out into this world and just be emotional. And if he feels some type of way, he can basically do whatever he wants, and that opens the floodgates for him to be able to react however he chooses just because he feels that way, no matter what's going on around him or what the correct protocol is supposed to be. And then we wonder why we have so many emotional men out here who are ready to crash out at the drop of a dime, possibly because this is what they witnessed and this is what they observed and ultimately implemented into how they operate.
Talk to me, because that will never happen.
That's fine.
Am I understood?
Yes.
You know what? I'm gonna pass the matter. You go down, check your attitude, and then I'll call your case back up. Have a seat. Have a seat.
Man, you about to piss me off. Come on.
What? Oh, wow.
Keep back talking. You better take that out of here. Oh, don't give me that look. Lee, get her out of my courtroom. Get her out of my courtroom.
Y'all, you know what's crazy? It hasn't even been 3 minutes yet. She couldn't even help it. And see, keep that same energy because kids are going to watch what you do. They're not going to listen to what you say. So when you decide to tell your kid to do something and he says, man, you about to piss me off, you can't get upset with him. You can't try to discipline him because this is what this is how you taught him to act and how you taught him to behave in the presence of authority. So when he starts getting out of control and you can't handle him,
Court to pass that matter. Court does call the case of YPF 16 LLC versus Nakia Turner.
Your Honor, Your Honor, I'll wait for it.
That just messes up my whole day. Everybody else is gonna have a hard time with me now.
oh,
You know, I was in a good mood and then it's just gonna take one person. It just takes one person and just messed up my whole attitude.
oh man. See, now everybody going to jail because of her. And y'all hang tight. She's gonna be back very soon. But now he's about to send everybody to jail. Everybody's going to jail. Everybody's getting evicted. All because of her, because she wanted to start it off like that.
You know, people, if she don't act right, it's gonna be get bad. No, hey,
Look.
I'm just telling you. I'm just giving fair warning.
You like your coffee, sir? So we can go get it for you right now.
No, I'm good. I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm good. Return. Mr. Ventura, you were in the middle of your statement, sir.
Yes, her current balance.
Keep in mind too, right? Before we get back into it, really, this case is this guy that's about to speak, the guy that she interrupted. They're trying to get something done. So when she did that, she really still won out in this because she bought herself more time. This guy is trying to get her evicted so he can move on and so they can get their property back. And they were the first case of the day. He was ready to go ahead and get this resolved. And he has to wait because of her behavior. When we're here for her, I mean, do you really understand that? That's crazy. That should have just been an automatic I win. I don't want to have to sit here and still wait for her.
Balance is $4,123.39. Court costs of $175 for a total of $4298.39. She's been in rapid rehousing where SOS has been paying her portion and she's supposed to pay the rest. She has never made a payment. I reached out to SOS. They tried to reach out to her, and it's my understanding that the rapid rehousing ends at the end of July. So in August, she's going to be responsible for the whole thing herself. She hasn't filed a rental assistance form. I don't think it's a tribal issue. In fact, we would ask the court for a judgment.
All right, ma'am, what did you wish to say?
anyways, like I was saying, SOS was paying my rent for 3 months without me having to pay anything. Like I told Miss Terry through SOS that I ended up losing my job, and I wasn't able to pay nothing at the moment, and I'm just now getting a job, and I wasn't able to pay nothing until today. But yeah, and I sent in my SER through the mail. I didn't know I had to come and actually bring it here. I don't have a car, so anytime I go anywhere, I have to get on a bus with my children. So
There's more.
I don't know if you're able to, if they bring the mail to y'all, but I definitely sent the SER to this courtroom with the judge with your name on it, Cedric Simpson.
Did
But SOS doesn't stop. She said that I already filled the paperwork out yesterday when she came. They pay August, but after August, I won't be getting no more help from SOS. But I reached out to Hawk. They're able to help, and I did do an SCR with my caseworker, and I have an appointment with my caseworker on Monday for help, so I can get help with my rent. And I'm able to pay altogether $900 today, but that's all I can afford.
Well, if we get to August 1st, then August rent is going to kick in, which means you're not going to be able
No,
to
August rent is paid by her, by SOS.
I'm going to let you finish because I'm not going to be interrupted again.
I'm sorry.
So what else did you want to say?
That's all I had to say. That's what I said. It was already paid. August month is already paid. That's why she came over yesterday and I filled out the paperwork. So August month to be paid. After August, September, I won't be getting no help after August, is what I'm telling you.
If SOS pays in August what they paid in July, it would be $650 on a $1,300 apartment, which would mean she'd be responsible for the other $650.
That's not true.
But even without, let's assume that for the sake of argument that SOS is going to pay the whole thing. She still has a $4,200 balance.
Right.
And I don't think there's any way that's going to be paid. And she hasn't filed the form, even though, the previous person heard you just fine last week when you said, we're getting here within 5 days. It wasn't here within 5 days. We'd ask for a judgment today.
I did turn it in within 5 days. You said turn it in Wednesday, which I did turn it in Wednesday. And who is he to say that I won't have all of it paid? Like, you don't know that. I didn't know I can get as much help as I did until I reached out to all these.
No, it's not about who is he to say you won't have it all paid. It's you have to pay it today. And then if August is paid up, then cool. But who is he? He's the person that you're supposed to be paying the rent to, that you haven't been paying the rent. Who is he? He is the person that's ultimately getting the ish end of the stick here. If you don't pay it today, he's the one sitting on pins and needles. You haven't really given a good reason of why you will pay it and how you'll pay it. To try to convert yourself to the victim when who is he? He's the one being victimized. I think that's wild.
Companies. And I was unemployed for a while, which I just got a job. I just started working 3 weeks ago. So this is my first check. You have to wait 2 weeks in a hole to even get your first check.
Your Honor, I'm willing to extend the judgment, normally be the 28th. If we were to extend the judgment to August 4th.
There's no tribal issue for this court in regard to this case. I'll grant a judgment court possession with the redemption amount of the $4,298.39.
Okay.
With a writ to issue August 4th, 2025.
Break that down.
Can you tell me exactly what does that mean?
Break that down.
I just issued a judgment. The 4,298.39 will need to be paid on or before August 4th of 2025. I've done it that way because if I grant an adjournment in this case, quite frankly, whatever the dispute is with the.
Just so we're clear, y'all, it needed to be paid by August 4th. And this case was last year. At the time of this hearing, it was July 18th. So she had give or take a little over 2 weeks to come up with that money. Otherwise, that guy will be able to come back and he'll be able to get that writ of eviction where he'll be able to basically evict her in like 24 or 48 hours. And that's when they show up, and then people act like they didn't get explained all this.
The August rent
Mhm.
would be added on to this figure, which I was trying to say earlier.
Yeah.
So it's a benefit that if you can find the funds to get this paid, you only have to pay this amount. Does not include anything for August.
Okay.
Right?
Well,
So you have to the 4th to get it paid.
yeah, but last thing I gotta say is that when I talked to my SOS worker, Miss Terry, our agreement was for her to pay the full amount because she know I'm not gonna be able to pay the full amount. The money that I have now is going to be towards to the money I already owe. So August is already going to be paid. Like the full amount is going to be
We're
paid,
not
so I won't
talking
have to worry
about
about August.
Maybe you're not hearing me.
I'm hearing what you
Just
said.
issued a judgment. I'm not dealing with August.
I know that. I'm
Right.
just
That
letting
helps
you know
you.
for sure that's going to be paid. That's all. But thank you. Have a nice one. Jesus.
People are rude. Wow. Wow. Who can tell her anything?
Stop.
Nope, doesn't work.
Don't understand the assignment.
Your
Had to get
properties versus
had to get the last word and call everybody else what she actually is.
Jason Mitchell.
Joe Lloyd, Your Honor, I am going to be appearing on behalf of Mr. Mitchell.
Yeah, this is getting out of control, man. This is getting out of control. Need all the help in the world, but then just acting indignant everywhere that she goes. And I want to address this because this is what was funny in my opinion. Funny in a not funny way. He explained to her that, listen, you don't have to pay the August rent. But the guy was like, oh, shit, this is what happened. The other guy who was trying to basically recoup the property, the plaintiff in this case, was like, all due respect, Your Honor, even if she pays August, she's still going to owe the other amount that we owe. And then she got rude and she said, oh, well, how do you know what I'm going to be able to do? Then what came out at the end when the judge told her, you don't have to be responsible for August, which is really supposed to help her, which is saying you can shift what you would pay for August to pay off this balance. She said, well, they're not paying that. Basically, they agreed to pay August, like this is the last time we'll pay. We're not paying anything behind. They probably can't do that. We can only pay for the upcoming. And then she said, well, they're not going to be able to pay that, and I'm not working, so I'm not going to be able to take care of that right now. Which was what he said originally, which is she's still going to owe this. And she was acting like, well, how do you know I can't come up with it? Then when the judge said, you have to come up with this by this date, then it's like, well, I can't come up with that, and they're not paying that. Just not listening. And this is just crazy, man. This was crazy. And to end it like that, basically just ishing on the judge after again asking for help, asking because he doesn't have to explain that to you because you didn't do what you were supposed to do. He didn't have to explain how the process is going to go to you. You could have went and go get an attorney and they'll explain it. And then he explained it to you, and because you didn't like the explanation, didn't basically just turn your back and just be rude and disrespectful as you exit. Insane. Y'all, if you like the video, I greatly appreciate it. It only takes a second and it actually helps out more than you know. Also, if you could hype the video, hype is a new feature that YouTube offers where it helps smaller content creators like myself. And basically, when you hype, it actually pushes us to the extent that it pushes the larger content creators. So you just press the hype button, then it shows the points. And since I am a smaller content creator, we actually get more points per hype. And then also Patreon, link below if you want to see self-improvement content as well. But until then, I'll catch you in the next video.